Hey everyone, welcome back to 100 Days of Coding JavaScript. So now we know all the JS fundamentals. I mean, the JavaScript fundamentals. I have covered the super 6 tools, right? How to create the data, right? Using data types and variables. You know how to write if else condition and using the comparison and logical operators, arrays, objects, right? How to run loops, looping your code basically, and we know how to write functions also. So the fundamentals of JavaScript is covered till now. From today, it's going to be really getting excited because we're going to start writing some JavaScript projects, and there will be several projects coming in the upcoming videos, and all the other topics related to JavaScript I'm going to cover along with projects. So you're going to get a lot of hands-on, and with that there will be some theory, and that will help you, right, get good practice in JavaScript. So the first project which we are going to start is called the random password generator. So this is the project which we are going to build from today. So it will be like this is a heading, right, and there will be some input here, and you can select the length. So basically this application is going to use for generating a random password. So you can provide the length of the password here. Maybe like you want to generate a password of 8 characters length. You are going to have two different Boolean values also, where you want your passwords to include numbers. So you're going to tick or untick using this checkbox. If you want to include the special characters, you can use this checkbox. If you don't use both of this checkbox, it's going to generate, when you click on the generate button, it's going to generate the password with only A to Z, right? It's not going to use alphabets. Basically, it's not going to use numbers. It's not going to use special chars. If you say include numbers and special chars also, then it's going to use some special characters, then alphabets and some numbers also to generate the password. Pretty simple app, but it's a really interesting application, and it will give you good hands-on in writing the JavaScript application. So I'll switch back to my code editor, and I have already created a folder called random password generator. So there are 3 things you need to remember here. So when we write any JavaScript application, let me maximize this. Let's go to maybe like amazon.com or .in. So any JavaScript application basically consists of 3 different components or 3 different technology stack, I would say. The first one, if you see here, is this is the HTML, right? So you need to write a lot of HTML. So if you want to create this search, right, I'm going to just target this. So you see that this is all of this is HTML. So we need to write some HTML to create our UI, our user interface. Like in our case, we need to write HTML to create this panel, this heading, this input, right? So we are going to write some HTML. Now, when we write the HTML, it's not by default, it won't be beautiful, or it won't be aligned the way we want, right? So the layout won't be like how you see here in these mockups. So to layout the application, to change the color, right? For all of that part, we write something called a CSS. So I'll show you the CSS also. Maybe if I pull this up. So if I select this component, this search component, right? What you see here, this part is called CSS. Okay. And when we type something, like maybe I type television here, and if I search for television, right, it's going to give me the result for the televisions. So this search part is called the JavaScript. Okay. So our application is going to be consist of 3 different things. So today we are going to start writing the HTML for our application. So this is what we need to generate, right? So we're going to write HTML for our application. And I'm going to remove this. And in the next part of the video, we will write the CSS, and then we'll write the JavaScript. So let's get started with the HTML. I have already generated the HTML structure, the basic scaffolding of the HTML, where I have given the title of JavaScript random password. Now inside my body, I'll refer the mockups and I'll start writing this. So this outer box is going to be a div. So I'm going to add a div, and inside that div, I'm going to have this heading. So for this, I'm going to use heading 1, and let's copy and paste this from here. Random password generator, this will be our heading. And I'll keep refreshing the application by saving. Not here. So if you see here, right, I can see the heading. So the next is we need to have this input. So I'll just refer the mockup one by one. Input, then we have these. This is for length, then include number, include special characters, and then generate and copy button. Okay, so let me write that. So I'll have an input. And for the time being, I'm just going to have the input here. Next, we need to have so basically I'm going to put everything what you see here inside a form. And because this is a form, right? And inside that form, I'm going to have the input. So let's go write some semantic HTML. Paste it, this input. Inside input, then I'm going to have a div, another division. Inside that, I'm going to put a label, and this label, I'll give it a name of length. So this will be the length of the password, right? And here I'll have the input. Its type will be number. I will save. See that? So this is for our generated password, this text input, and this is for the length of the password. I'll have another div, another label, and this label is for, I'm going to remove this for now. Include numbers, and here I'm going to have input with a type of checkbox. Okay, next I'll have another div, inside that a label. I'm going to remove for now, and this will be include special characters. This will be again input, the type of check box. Okay, finally I'm going to have the buttons. So div, inside that div, I'll put my first button will be generate, and I'm going to give this button a type of submit. Okay, maybe like submit, and the next button will be off. This will be for copy, and I'm not going to give it any type. So if I save, see that? So this is the HTML structure. Length, include number, include special characters, generate and copy. What else is remaining? Okay, so I got everything covered, right? Generate and copy. Okay, so we are almost ready with the HTML structure. And this is what I wanted to cover in this part of the video. In the next part of the video, we are going to write the CSS for this form, for this HTML, whatever we have generated here. So I'm going to stop here. Until then, I'm going to see you in the next video. Until then, you take care, goodbye, and thanks for watching the video.